two very good questions on the recruiting front. The first one is about Jake Garcia, quarterback from La Habra, California, committed to USC, who Miami was chasing after early. And our guy, Marshall Thomas at State of the U, also has his own podcast, which you should look up and listen to, started the hashtag Garcia to Miami. Because he wants that to happen. And I do too, because Jake Garcia is really good. Romello Brinson has been tweeting in interviews saying that he's going to recruit Jake Garcia to be the quarterback to come down in this class. I'm actually going to be working on a piece soon about quarterback recruiting that's going to be interesting for you. So please be sure that you check that out in a couple of days. But no, that's the goal right now, it seems. Jalen Milroe, who's committed to Texas, is the other target for the staff, and between them we'll find hopefully one quarterback, but instead of finding one that is uncommitted somewhere, Miami looks to be going after guys who are committed elsewhere, trying to flip them. And Jake Garcia is really good. We wrote a profile about him before. Roman Marcianti, our quarterback guru who played professional baseball and evaluates players in both sports, he put up a video, because he does videos more than writing, but he wrote a little bit prose and then put a video evaluating Jake Garcia and actually comparing Jake Garcia and Jalen Milroe, which was a pretty awesome experience. So you should look that up. But no, I mean, Jake Garcia is a guy that Miami is openly after. I mean, we've gotten all kinds of people. I mean, you have Gino Torretta, Brad Kaya. I mean, you have Canes from years past who are, tweeting out the hashtag Garcia to Miami. And shout out to Marshall for starting that movement with a couple other people on the internet and just trying to get that going. I don't know if it's going to come to fruition right now, but obviously we're pushing for that, along, like I said, with Jalen Milroe and maybe a couple other guys. So there's a ways to go before we see fruits of labor in that area, but we'll see. And Miller Moss, who was a Miami target and had an offer, he committed to USC as a quarterback. So now they have two quarterbacks committed in that class. So it could be easy to say, hey, look, if USC looked at you in that way, they would have taken one quarterback. But for whatever reason, that staff doesn't share our belief. That staff thinks that two quarterbacks are better than one, and that one being you. Here at Miami, we're all in on Jake Garcia. We don't need to look at anybody else. We don't need to bring in anybody else. We're not going to bring in anybody else as a commit. So come down here because we're all in on the Garcia bucket. So we'll see what that does. In terms of Leonard Taylor, he was one of the Palmetto Five that Robbie Espin, our new contributor, wrote about as a 5-star defensive tackle. I don't think he's coming here, but we'll see. And Miami will keep plugging away in terms of that recruitment, because that's a position of need, always at the point of attack. The closer you get to the football, those dudes who are that size are rare. So when you have one of that caliber from the local area, you try to get them and everything. And Leonard Taylor is a supremely talented guy. And again, he plays with Jason Marshall, Corey Collier, Savion Collins, who's currently committed to Miami, and Brashard Smith. Also, because I got lambasted because I didn't mention him, Derek Edwards is another D1 player at Palmetto who just committed to Louisville today. Miami's not necessarily after him, but we've written about the Palmetto Five, and they probably have, at least one other, maybe a couple other high Division I Power 5 players on that roster. But Leonard Taylor is probably, depending on, positional scarcity and size, you can make the argument that he's probably the number one recruit of those five. So obviously Miami will have a harsh battle to get his services. And at this time, I'm not sure I'm probably leaning towards that won't happen. But if Miami starts winning and this momentum continues, maybe it does.